A lot of you may be saying that your business is small and doesn't compare to the ginormous, super duper conglomerates like Walmart or Coca-Cola or some of those other stores. And you don't think that they can compare when the truth is that your business and their business have a lot of things in common because they are businesses and they are trying to do certain things and they're trying to achieve certain goals. And those goals don't change no matter the size and they don't matter, what they're selling or any of that. It is kind of a universal rule across the board for businesses. So what I want to do today is I'm going to go through some businesses that have really, really made an impact on our society, the big boys in the game. And I want to show you how you can use some of their strategies, some of their business models to make your business better and may even form your business using some of those models and deciding which direction you want to go in order to make money in your business and be successful. So let's get started. We're going to start off with Chick-fil-A, one of my favorite restaurants, mainly because it's a Georgia grown company and also because of the massive success that they've achieved through the way that they achieved it. Chick-fil-A is just like the name says, it's a chicken sandwich restaurant, and it's one of the largest chains of chicken sandwich restaurants in America. It is headquartered here in Georgia and operates well over 3,000 restaurants across the United States and Puerto Rico. The thing about Chick-fil-A that is so captivating is that they are steeped in their simplicity. Their menu is not a large menu. They have very few items on the menu, and that's by design because of what they want to do is to create a certain product and do it the best that they can do. It is not the best food in the world. It is good and it is, something that people seek out, but it is not, something that is, you would find in a gourmet restaurant or something like that. And in fact, some of the other chicken sandwiches that come along, and there's been taste tests and, a big battle going on to see who had the best chicken sandwich. The model that Chick-fil-A settled on was that they keep it simple and then they focus on things that mattered, like the customer experience, the, keeping things moving, keeping things open, smiles and responses from their employees, uh, just above and beyond with the customer service. And this is where your business can learn from this model. You can keep your business very, very simple. Your party rental business doesn't have to be all inclusive, doesn't have to include everything. But if you focus on your customer service and use that as an added bonus, you can really, really, captivate some of the customers and grab that market where, you know, people out there are looking for someone that they can depend on, especially if you're talking about someone who is not looking for, some sort of flash or something like that. They're literally looking for a product that most everyone has, but they want a price and service above all that is better than most out there. So you can focus on that. Another thing that Chick-fil-A focuses on is that their businesses are solely owned by the corporation and run by an individual, and that individual is selected, and that's all that they do. They don't have a job and work this and something like that. So you may want to keep that in mind. It is very, very difficult to achieve the kind of service that you're going to need to achieve if you're focusing on other things, if your mind is wrapped around other things like jobs and things like that. So this may be a model that is better suited if you're full time or work towards this if you're trying to be get away from the job, you need to work towards this. So keep that in mind. The next business we're going to talk about is Costco. Costco was founded in 1983 in Washington. It has grown to be one of the leading big box warehouse wholesale companies in America. Their model is different from some of the other retail stores in that they have very, very slim margins. They make most of their money off of the memberships and keep the customers coming back through offering of good prices. And the business model that we can learn from Costco would be that they are a treasure hunt. They are constantly rotating their shelves with products, and they can offer new and exciting things. So it draws the customers in and makes them want to come back. If you don't make your sales, Costco doesn't keep you on your shelves. You have to earn your spot there, and they will shuffle you right out the door if you have a product that is not making it. And we can do this in our business simply by rotating your equipment, adopting the model of having the newer exciting equipment and moving stuff out the door that is not renting up to par. um, keep it ever changing, keep it exciting, keep everything kind of rolling around so that the customer always has a different experience with you, always has something going on. That would be an exciting model to kind of go after. It has its pitfalls because, like I said, you can pick a couple of losers and you're stuck with these, and you're showcasing these losers, and you would have to have the ability to pivot and move as quick as you could to get out from underneath those kind of things and keep the good things going. And also, you need to have your kind of ear to the ground when it comes to what's going to be exciting and what's going to, really, really work and what's not. Again, being stuck with some stuff on the front end that really doesn't do what it's supposed to do and doesn't make the numbers that they're supposed to do could really hurt this kind of model. But I can see where this could be a very, very lucrative way to run business and keep that fresh and new and exciting look, and customers keep coming back because they want to see the new stuff that you got going on. The next company I want to talk about is Starbucks. It is the world's largest coffee provider, coffee house, with tons and tons of stores just about everywhere in America. You can't go anywhere without stumbling over a Starbucks. They were established initially in Seattle, Washington in 1971. And again, they had 35 billion in revenue last year off of coffee. Now, the business model here has morphed in that what they have done is they've created a business out of a business that normally would not have been a business on its own. Coffee houses were not a thing in America until and shown to light that this is a way that you can also do a business. So you can model your business off of one particular item. Say, for instance, you want to be the dunk booth guy or girl, and all you do is stock tons and tons of Dunkin' booths. Now, normally those kind of things would be individualized and added to a stock of someone else like that. But if you specialize that equipment and became the provider for that, and you hit the market with lots of advertising, and you literally can go uh, spring to fall with the tanks, and you can bring in other things like heated dunk tanks or dunk tanks that are themed, and create a situation where you are literally putting all these flavors of coffee, i.e. dunk booths, into the customer's hands. That would be a good way to saturate the market and create an opportunity for yourself. Another thing that Starbucks does that is really, really kind of amazing is that they are one of the world's largest banks, in that they have such a lucrative gift card situation going on, that they keep money on hand because that's the way that they have promoted giving their their product. Buy a Starbucks gift card and give it to someone, and those people usually throw it in their desk or throw it in a drawer or whatever. Meanwhile, Starbucks has got all this money piled up, and they're making interest over hand over fist. Now, we can't do that because you don't have the kind of numbers that you're going to need with that. But think about a business that is prepaid or a business that has a larger deposit and what that does for you as far as freeing up concerns about, whether or not the business is going to go through, whether or not the costs are going to be covered. You would know where your budget was well before you even got to an event. Again, it would be something that you would have to work, and I would have to see all of the working models to it, but it is something that is very, very intriguing to try to make a prepaid situation or a gift card situation where you are selling these birthdays to grandparents and aunts and uncles far, far ahead of any event. That would be a pretty unique business model. The next business model we're going to talk about is IKEA. Now, IKEA started way back in 1943 in the Netherlands, and it kind of morphed into the retail furniture giant that it is today. What IKEA offers that is different is that they have a unique style of furniture that is flat packaged and sent to you, and you have to do part of the work. You have to put it together and make it that final step. Um, this is again a really, really unique kind of business model because prior to this, showrooms were filled with furniture and you would go in and pick it out and bring the furniture home or have it delivered, and there's a lot of floor space involved and things like that. This kind of took that and put it up on its ear because it put it all in a box and shipped it straight to your house. Now, what we can learn from this is that there could be a business model where you let the customer do part of the work, something like a pickup or a deliver it to them, and then they do the final setup, or they whatever part that would finish up that, and you could save the amount of money that you needed to save simply by doing this because your labor is literally locked up into the time that it's going to take of unrolling and rolling the unit and allowing the customer to do it. Now, there are some pitfalls that are involved here. One is you have to make sure that your liabilities are covered, whether it be through contract or training or however you need to do it to figure out. I'm not a legal expert. You'd have to consult with your insurance company or a legal expert to find out exactly how you would do this. But you need to make sure that you cover your liabilities on that so that if a customer uh, is given a product and they install it incorrectly, it does not fall back on you. The other thing is that there may be a situation where a customer thinks that they can do this, and then once they get it there, they can't do this, and then they call you frantically because their party is about to start and they still haven't figured out how to put the obstacle course together, and you didn't show them everything, and they don't understand, and yada yada yada. So you wind up going back and doing the labor anyway. Um, I like the idea of sort of the customer finishing up the the rental, and it would save on a lot of labor and doing some stuff. But again, the pitfalls on this would be really, really something that I would be concerned about. Um, but again, it may be something that you can approach and make it work and create a business model that works for you and for your customers. The next company that I want to talk about or business model that I want to talk about is Crocs. Now, Crocs are a foam footwear that sort of a clog, ugly looking footwear. Some people think they're attractive, some people think they're ugly. Um, but the thing about this is that in 2002 they've kind of took the market by storm, and they literally had one style of shoe that they were providing. And the genius of this was that they quickly bought up a company that allowed them to customize those shoes, create a situation where they had a whole different kind of look to it simply by adding charms or by bobbles or whatever that they had that was going onto the shoes so that your Crocs could be different. They also created Crocs in different colors and styles and things like that that really, became collector's items and created this buzz about, how they were getting there. The business model that I want you to focus on here is maybe trying to reduce the size of the things that you have and focus only on uh, accessorizing those things. So if you and again, it's nothing new. It's not a new idea, but it's not something that a lot of people have totally gone head into, uh, and that would be like bounce houses that had changeable banners or slides and things that were somehow connected, and you could change and interchange and the whole 9 years. So reduce the size of your inventory and allow each piece to somehow be customizable, and creating a situation where you can do something different with fewer pieces. If you had 6 pieces and they could morph into 8 or 10 or 12 or 20 pieces, then what you're going to do is you're going to create an opportunity for you to get those pieces out more often. Having 100 pieces is nice, but it's not very nice if you're only putting 20 pieces out, at a time, because those other, 80 pieces are literally just sitting there. So when you work your inventory, ideally you want to get to the point to where you're 60, 70% booked out, 80% booked out, uh, on a regular basis, and keeping that stuff moving, keeping it going out the door so that it's generating the revenue for the space that it's taken up and then money that you've invested in it. Crocs did it by customization. I think that there's room somewhere in the industry for someone to take this idea and create a situation where your stuff is customizable so that it makes and fits in lots of different kind of uh, themes and spaces for customers, a lot of different parties, and creates that opportunity for you to make a lot of money off of a few units. The next business model I want to talk about is the Dollar General. The Dollar General started in 1955 in Tennessee and has been growing, but in the last few years, it has done something that is absolutely phenomenal, and it has become the world's largest retailer by store numbers, boasting well over 19,640 stores in the United States alone. Dollar General very meticulously decides where and how they're going to place their stores. They do not place their stores in situations where they're going head to head against other discount stores or other big box stores or chains or something like that. What they've done is they've gone into the smaller communities or into communities that are less served by the big box stores, and created an opportunity for customers to receive their products in those areas. They became the general store of old in these rural areas and in these underserved areas, in the cities. They Dollar General uh, has very very minimal, bare bones on everything that they do. Their stock is what they need. There's not 15 different brands of whatever. There's not, every single thing that you need. It is the most used items that someone would be looking for. It is in certain sizes. They don't do giant sizes or family super duper sizes or anything like that. It is usable sizes, and that's how they keep their costs low, and that draws the customers in. Also, they save a ton of money on labor because they usually have 1 to 2 people running an entire store. So the stocker is the checkout, is the assistant manager, is the manager. They're all one. They open to close. Um, so it is a situation where they've cut all the fat off of this and basically gone bare bones. Now, um, the thing that we could get from this is that doing just that, serve the areas that are underserved. So when you are picking the areas that you need to go to, and that you're doing your marketing and you're doing your advertising. Find areas around you that are underserved and focus your advertising in them there, so that you're not going in a situation where you are, trying to compete head to head. There are several counties in and around me that have, tons of people, but there are tons of bounce house companies. But there are also counties that are much, much smaller, that are much, much less served, simply because those other companies don't want to put the effort into that. If I'm the only person in a county that has 10,000 people and I'm the only one that's serving them, is that better than me being one of 10 people serving a county with 100,000? Because I'm not having any competition with any of these other companies. I'm literally the guy. So it may be advantageous for you to focus your marketing in those areas. And when you pick your delivery areas or you pick your service areas, pick an area that is underserved so that you can be the leader in that area. You can be the Dollar General in that rural area, and you can make the kind of money that you need to make. The next brand I want to talk about is, again, another hometown company, a well-known company, a brand name that is far and wide, and it has become synonymous with uh, the field that they are in. And I am talking about, yes, ladies and gentlemen, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, born and bred right here in Atlanta, Georgia, has literally been in business over 100 years and serving all of America, um, and they do it with 1.8 billion uh, beverages served each day. Listen to what I just said: 1.8 billion beverages served every day. Wow. So, um, the business model that I want to talk about when it comes to Coca-Cola is this, and is very, very simple. Uh, Become the market, be the brand. They're very, very brand driven. They've always been brand driven. They had catchy slogans and catchy characters with the Coca-Cola polar bears and the like to buy the world a Coke song and Mean Joe Green way back in the 70s. Um, all the way up to the current days, they literally have hit the market hard with their brand, with their marketing, and become synonymous with the soda. People don't say they want a soda; they say they want a Coke, um, and it makes a situation where um, you become the thing that pops into people's mind when they think that that's what they need. Now, this is very, very difficult in our industry because um, everyone is drawing from the same source. We all buy our equipment from the same companies, and there's really no secret formula for us. But that doesn't mean that you can't do certain things. You can make your units customized. You can create certain colors, or you can create certain designs that literally only you have, and those kind of things can set you apart so that people will always be looking at you. The dangers of this is that if you are found to be synonymous with something, you can be found to be synonymous with the other side as well. So be very, very careful to make sure that you're doing good quality products for a good quality price, and you're not going to be, labeled as the cheap guy, or you're going to be labeled as the one that's always tore up or doesn't look good or whatever. So you need to be very careful when you're protecting this brand, if you're going to cultivate this brand, because you don't want to be sucked into a situation where you are literally thought of in a negative light because of the brand that you've created. The last brand that I'm going to talk about is, again, one more Georgia grown company. And I'm sorry if you guys are sick of these Georgia companies, but we are just really super successful here in Georgia. And we hope that everyone else can learn from us and create a situation where they grow just as well as us. The last company that I want to talk about is the Home Depot. Home Depot was founded in 1978 by a couple of guys who were fired from a hardware store, and they created this business that literally the world known owner is synonymous with do it yourself and home repair and everything that is fix it. The Home Depot has over 490,000 employees, makes 151 billion dollars in revenue each year. So ginormous company. And what is the business model that we can learn from them? It is very, very simple. The Home Depot is the go-to guy when it comes for things that people need for home improvement. You can be the go-to guy or girl for whatever people need for event rental stuff. You have to provide everything all in one. So you're literally going to have to expand your resources, and it goes against some of the other business models that we talked about. But this is also one of those business models that allows you to kind of capture the market. So expand your market and be the go-to person, and then shift so that you're offering seasonal stuff to people and creating that opportunity through the range of things. If you're doing bounce houses, you need to pick up the pumpkin bounce. If you're doing, tents and tables, you need to have, the wedding tent and then the stargazing tent, or, whatever the different things out there that go along with the seasonal things. I want to caution you guys, this is not a model that you want to start off in, because you won't be able to compete unless you're dumping a lot of money into this. But it is something that you can build towards, it's something that you can grow towards, something that you can create, just by going at it for a few years and adding to it and getting to a situation where you're able to do this. Now, again, some of the other pitfalls are is that is your area going to support everything, or are you going to have to expand out and create a situation where you're going on a further distance just to make sure that you're getting the customers to justify the things that you want? If you don't rent a lot of tables and chairs because you don't have a wedding season, or whatever graduation season or whatever in your area that's very, very big, then it may be difficult for you to expand into that. So you may have to expand your delivery area out into areas where you can do that. So be very, very careful. Make sure that you understand your market, and don't just go out and buy things because that's what you need. One of the best strategies that I've found to kind of do this is to partner up with someone who's doing some of this stuff and allow them to pick up some of the slack. I have a very, very good contact that I work with who has a rental store, and I if I need tables or chairs or anything like that, I go through him. He gives me a little bit of a money back on that because I'm doing the rental for him. So I'm making a little bit of money, not as much as I would have made if I owned it, but I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to keep it in stock. I don't have to clean it. I don't have to do none of that stuff. He takes care of all that stuff alone. So what I'm saying is you can partner up with someone and create an opportunity for them as well as you, until you get to the point to where you're big enough, then you can support yourself in these kind of things. You can also kind of use this to augment yourself. So, for instance, I run 5 generators out of that, and sometimes I run low on generators because I have customers that need them and we won't have enough to go around. So, again, the same guy, I use him as kind of a spare. He has 3 or 4 generators, and I can always fall back on his generators so that I'm not having to buy 8 generators and only use 5 most of the time, and then every occasionally I'll use 8 or 6 or 5, whatever. It keeps me from going into a situation where I have more equipment than I need. So, all right, guys, that is it. That's the wrap up. There are tons of more companies out there, and I literally can do this all night. I could tell you guys all about all these companies and how they would work into there. What companies do you think or what business strategies do you think would work well in this as well? If you do, if you know, comment below and let us all kind of share and see what we come up with. Also, um, I want to thank you guys for being in the business. I want to thank you for everything that you do. I appreciate you bringing the smiles, and I want you to know that we're in this together. We're all out there, huffing and sweating just like everybody, and there's no such thing as competition in between us. So if you guys need anything, please just reach out, let me know. I want to thank you all for everything that you do, and keep watching. Please support this channel. Give us a like, give us a thumb up. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe so that you can keep seeing all this stuff, and we'll keep bringing it to you. I thank you so very much, and we will see you on the next one.